Hey everybody, welcome to the next episode of Community Driven, where we are bringing you people in our community who are doing great things. I'm your host, Kevin Strosnider from Strosnider Chevrolet, and I have got some very special guests with me today. I have got Bruce Velk and Barbara Suessmann. I've been working on those names, so I think I got them right. Bruce, Barbara, thank you so much for being here with me today, and I'm so excited to bring them to you today. They are with, and I'm trying to say this right, the Virginia Czech and Slovak Folklife Festival. Did I say that right?
Yes.
All right. All right. I'm not going to do that again. That's one time. We get a one-time shot.
Right.
But they're with it, and if you have been in this area, I'm sure you are familiar with this. It goes on every single year, correct?
That's right.
Every single year for many years. A wonderful festival, and I'm so glad y'all are here today. So we're going to get to dive into a little bit more of the background of that and what y'all do and all that stuff. So thank you for joining us, and we look forward to this. So if you would, let's just start with, if y'all would introduce yourselves. Barbara, we'll start with you. Just introduce yourself a little bit to our
I'm Barbara Suessmann, and for the last, 13 years, the festival, this is the 11th festival this year, but I've been working with them and have gradually gotten into being food coordinator. But it's always been great to involve the community. We have the civics groups, we have church groups who come and help us with putting it together, and they enjoy it, and we give them monetary contribution too. So it's great to just involve the whole community, and I think that's the best part of it. It's just to have a good time and offer it for everyone. So
awesome. Bruce.
Yeah, hi everybody. I'm Bruce Velk. I'm a native of Prince George. I worked with a woman named Marie Pearson many years ago to help found this festival, and volunteer leaders like Barbara have been fantastic in keeping it going. And we just think it's a fun activity, and we welcome everybody every year.
Awesome. Well, thank you all so much for being here. I'm so excited to dive into some of the history. I have been several times to the festival, so to hear some of the history, and as I think we were talking just a few minutes ago, I have a little bit of connection and just a very good friend of our family, Miss Olga Ekman, who was part of that the festival for many years. As was she choir director? What was she?
yes, she was choir director. And we started that the first year. We had a couple of churches that still, and our Lutheran church, I'm from Emporia, Virginia, and it was also started by immigrants, and we had a group who sang some of the traditional Czech songs that we still knew. And then Elga, I think the next year we started getting a choir together when we had different people from other churches all joined together. So she was instrumental in getting us and somehow to pronounce it properly.
Yeah.
Or close enough.
Close enough. Now, Bruce, you were instrumental in starting this.
Yes.
You're from Prince George. You live in Crozet now,
That's
but you come back every year and help this out. So tell us about the process of getting that the festival started.
So originally started in college undergrad. I went to Prague for study abroad.
Oh, okay.
And that kind of opened up my world in terms of wanting to learn about my roots. And fast forward to the first year we did this, I received a grant from Virginia Humanities, reached out to the Prince George Heritage Society Regional Center, and we collaborated, worked together with that grant money. It was basically seed money, got the festival off the ground. We recruited wonderful volunteers and people from all over the community, not just Prince George. People may not realize there were Czech and Slovak settlers in this southern part of Virginia, far down as Emporia, Prince George, Dinwiddie. We all collaborated, like Barbara said. We had churches volunteering, and they're still very much part of this festival.
Yeah.
So it's been a wonderful experience over these years to see it grow, to see it be known as a regional festival, statewide festival. People travel from out of state now to attend our festival, and we just welcome everybody. It's such a fun event.
Yeah. Awesome. That's awesome. Barbara, how long have you been? Have you been the whole time, or you kind of came in a little bit later?
Probably about 16 years ago, I met, again, Marie Pearson and Joyce Pritchard at Sacred Heart. They would have a Czechoslovakian dinner, I guess, once a year. And I heard about it, I grabbed my husband and said, let's go. And we came up and I met them, and we said, well, let's have a bake sale. We had a couple of bake sales a few years. So it's probably about 16, 17 years that I started it. And then it gradually got, I think with your help, to get it into a full festival. And at the Prince George Heritage, the money that we raised each year went towards repairing and restoring that museum. So it's used not just for the Czech Slovak Festival, although we have a larger, but for the whole museum that has been able to do that. So that's what we've used our money for too, is to restore these things. So,
in fact, with private fundraising and this festival funds, a few years ago, a separate wing devoted to the community was opened.
Really?
Which features dresses, pictures, all sorts of memorabilia from over the years, so people can learn about the community, see the materials, and just speak to people. During the festival, it's open house. We have docents there telling people all about the history, so welcome people to check it out.
That's neat.
Yeah.
So when people come to the festival, Bruce, what should they expect?
Good food, good music, friendly people, just a
Pivo.
Pivo, yeah, which is beer in Czech.
Okay, yeah.
Pivo is beer in Czech. For me personally, it feels just like a family reunion. I see so many relatives and friends I haven't seen in a long time.
Yeah.
But I just want to emphasize it's open and welcome to all. People coming from all over, and it's just a fun time. Really laid back, enjoyable atmosphere.
Yeah, and it's more than just the food and music. There's some other stuff that I know in the past. I think there's been like some animal stuff.
Right.
Too.
We have animals. We have things for the kids to do.
Yeah.
We have a lot, usually maybe horses or some of the old tractors, and we try to keep different things in the museum. As we've had exhibits come from Iowa, from other places, so we try each year to have something a little bit different. They have a gift shop which has a lot of items of Czech and Slovak. For instance, Christmas decorations. We have a lot of Christmas traditions and things like that were done. We have like the eggs that are famous, or one of a Czech or Slovak with the dyeing of the eggs, and that's quite a process involving art, wax, and all.
So who made that egg?
I think these were bought, so
Okay.
we haven't gotten to that point
yet.
I
got you. Okay.
But there have been some discussion of maybe having classes on how to
neat.
make the eggs like that. So I think it's great to just hear from other people's traditions and like, hey, I'd like to bring that back. So hopefully we can start working on some of that.
And the thing I'm most interested in on this table is the food. So tell us a little bit about that, because that's your forte, correct?
Yes. Well, growing up in Emporia with my grandmother and the church, Lutheran church started, we have always had a tradition of making kolaches. Now, this is what we would call a Slovak kolache. This is a cream cheese dough, and it has pecan and raisin filling. And when I came to Prince George and we first started, everybody said, we had a supper, everybody bring a sample. So I brought my kolaches, and they said, no, they're not kolaches. These are kolaches. And this is a Czech kolache, which is a yeast dough with the filling. And we have those. This is a cream cheese filling with blueberries or cream cheese. Prune poppy seed is very popular.
Huh,
The
really?
poppy seed, and you would think, how are those little bitty seeds? But when you get a bunch of them, and we used to grind them, and you grind it, and like peanut butter, it forms a paste, and it's really good. And now we've kind of gotten back to just boiling them but it's unusual. This is apple strudel. Now, this is something that you will be taking these with you.
Okay.
This is apples and pecans, cinnamon, and raisins. And I take a ball of dough about big as my hand, and I will pull it out. It'll fit this table.
Oh, man.
In fact, the table's too small.
That's crazy.
And you sprinkle lots of butter. The more butter, the better. And you sprinkle your apples and raisins, and you have it on a sheet, and you roll it. You pick it up, and it rolls.
Wow.
And so that's layers of phyllo dough, but this is homemade phyllo dough.
Wow.
And then this is a kolache, or a nut roll, and this is a mixed nut, but also that is very good with the poppy seed and prunes.
Wow.
Now, don't knock it till you try it.
Yeah.
But those are the traditional, because back then we were very cost conscious.
Yeah.
And prunes, you could dry them, and the poppy seed, and then you rehydrate them, and it makes a delicious filling. A little bit of cinnamon and vanilla, and the idea is this would be like a long roll about this so far, and you'd have them at Christmas. And see, if you cut it slices, you just put it out a plate. Plate would be like this, your assortment.
Yeah.
Instead of having a piece of cake where you cut the cake.
Yes.
Oh, well, you had that cake yesterday. This is not.
Yeah.
So I think that's a tradition of having something that keeps well.
Yeah.
And you slice it up and you present a plate for any.
This reminds me of like the I think I was telling y'all my grandmother's Pennsylvania Dutch. That Pennsylvania area did pumpkin rolls a lot.
Yes.
And it kind of reminds me of that pumpkin roll kind of look.
Similar situation,
yeah.
where you just bring out a couple of slices and have it like that.
Yeah.
But these we have gotten together the week before the festival with people to come and help us to bake these. They learn how to bake it. We're not too harsh on them.
That's good.
Make sure you have a sample, and you'll go home with sugar all over you. So, and you'll know how to do it.
So you do that? You said a few days before?
Yeah, usually the Saturday before.
Where do you do that at?
We have tried at different places around. We've had several places around that have a traditional, a big kitchen. So usually from 9 to 2, at least maybe 15 or 20 people, and just get together, and we make both kolaches. And we do have right now someone else who makes our rolls for us, but the apple strudel, we make that Friday before the festival.
That's awesome.
Because that does not keep as well.
Is that like an open to the public thing, or is that a?
I think well,
volunteers.
We can ask for volunteers.
I got you.
Right. And if you look, this is here. If you contact the Historical Society, we will have a schedule for baking, and we also usually that Thursday and Friday before the festival is when we'll be preparing the meal, which will be cabbage rolls, and we have pork tenderloin, the cabbage and halushki. You know what they are?
No.
Halushki is like a dumpling. Or some people may say cabbage and noodles is halushki. It's again kind of the word means cabbage and something. Either dumplings or noodles. But we make traditional egg noodles, egg dumplings.
All right.
So similar to spatzel, but it's a little bit larger. It's not just all noodle-like. So, but if you want to come and help us, contact the Heritage Society. When we on our webpage or on the Facebook, we will have a schedule of when to come and help us. So.
I guess I'm asking a little bit for some selfish reasons, because I love to get my kids involved in things that are expand their minds and their boundaries of things they've never experienced before. Is it something that would be open to children too, helping?
We tend to want if someone is under, say, 16 or so, we want a family member with them.
Absolutely.
But yes, especially we've had a lot of several kids from school who maybe need working on hours that they may have to do or just want to come. But yes, it'd be great.
Yeah,
we've had
cool.
several teenagers come and have come a couple of years. So, and it's a good
really,
experience
really
just to see the culture that is around, and it's kind of want to try to get it revitalized. So yes, it'd be a great open.
It is a great thing to celebrate the various cultures, because we have people from all backgrounds. We were just talking before, as my last name is a German background, but there's also some
also
connections.
German.
Okay, you're German.
I have some.
Krickenberger.
And then there's within my own family, there's the Pennsylvania Dutch and the Irish, and it's within these areas, there's so many different like a melting pot of backgrounds, and it's great to learn what the different pieces of history from those different backgrounds. This is a great thing, and to experience what would be traditional to one culture versus another, which is really, really neat.
Well, like strudel is European,
Yes.
German, everything, and several of these are very similar in a lot of European countries.
Awesome.
And we also have angel wings, which is it's like a fried dough with powdered sugar, so you have to have those. But that's also a very traditional European cookie, And it's kind of like, oh, we got some pie dough left. What can we do with it? We'll fry it and put sugar on it. So
Good.
I can attest these are delicious. And arrive early and buy early because they go like literal hotcakes.
That's funny.
But this year, we're in addition to Barbara and her
Uh-huh.
team's
Yes.
pastries, we're also asking Praha Bakery in my hometown, not my hometown, my current town of Crozet. They're going to send some new pastry goods, different ones than these. So be sure to check it out this year.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Now, Bruce,
Yes.
if you would, so you said you studied in Prague for
That's
a little
right.
bit. Give us a little history of the Czech and Slovak
Sure.
maybe migration to
Sure.
America and in this particular area, like
Absolutely.
why are there so many people in
Right.
this particular area?
Right. This is not a well-known Czech and Slovak settlement.
Okay.
People think of the Slovaks in Pennsylvania, which some of them did migrate from there down to here. People think of New York and especially Chicago, Illinois. But so it's an interesting story. After the Civil War, a lot of land was for sale and affordable, and land sellers wanted to attract German immigrants. It just so happened one German-speaking Czech man saw the advertisement, and then he spread the word, and this Prince George County became the epicenter of the resettlement.
Really?
This was before 1900. And like I said, a lot of Slovaks that were working in the mines and factories in Pennsylvania were tired of that work. They wanted to come to a more agricultural, rural environment. And I'll emphasize that. We talked about the tractors and other displays at the festival.
Yeah.
We do really try to emphasize our agricultural heritage and history here. I know Barbara and my family were both farmers, and I even have family members still farming. So it's important we show our next generation that history here.
Yeah.
But yeah, back to your original question, the folks settled here, they assimilated, there's been board of supervisors that with Czech descent here in Prince George, and we're very much part of the community, and we just want to share our culture with everybody and make it a positive thing, and keep the future generations involved as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, did either one of y'all actually speak like the?
Deborah Nuts, don't ask me.
Huh?
Deborah Nuts is good. Yeah. Deborah Nuts is good night. WSB is good sleep. Deborah Rana is good morning.
Dobrý den.
Dobrý
Okay.
den.
Hello.
Good day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, there were a few things that were said that I'm sure we did not want to know the reason, what the words were, with the emphasis that it was. But
That's funny.
and we do. There's a Christmas song that several people in our church still know in Slovak. It's so I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
My grandmother here in Prince George, late grandmother, she would speak Czech half the time and English half the time to my mother. And her cousin had this book from the 1940s, it's just learning Czech and so forth, which is interesting because in those days, most people wanted to assimilate, speak English, and they only spoke Czech or Slovak at the home in private. It's been tough. I don't know the language completely. I get along well enough when I do visit the home country. But I've had my daughter take some online lessons. There's a great Czech and Slovak language school in North Carolina, and we're inviting them up here too. So yeah, it's hard with your busy life, but we try our best to keep up with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's so important that we remember the past. It is so important, and to not, and the past is not always pretty. We know that.
That's right.
Anybody in the world today should know that the past is not always pretty, but it doesn't mean we should forget it just because it wasn't always pretty. But there's parts that we're not proud of, but we need to remember. There's parts that we're very proud of, and we need to remember as well.
Right.
And to remember both sides, and to celebrate the good part, and to celebrate the history and what brought us to this point is an awesome thing. So thank you for doing that. That's a great thing. So the festival's coming up. It's pretty much the same time every year, correct? So tell us about that. When is it?
Okay, it'll be October 18th. It's usually the third Saturday from 10 to 4,
Okay.
11 to 4. And like I said, we have music going the whole time. To me, it's like you sit on the hay bales, have some beer and get a good meal, and just listen to the music and feel like you're in Europe and you only have to drive less than an hour.
Yeah.
So.
And now, how many people typically attend? Do y'all
Like
have
2,000.
Is it 2,000? That
Yeah.
many? I knew it was a
Yeah.
lot. I mean, you
Yeah.
can't get a parking spot.
Yeah.
It's you have to park, at Scott Park and walk all the
Yeah.
way over or
They
park
got
down the
shuttles.
road.
We do have golf carts to
Yeah.
shuttle,
Do,
yes
okay,
we do.
that's
But
awesome.
if you want to exercise, go ahead.
Yeah, that's great. I didn't realize it was that many people, but it's a lot. I know. And so it's at the Prince George Heritage Center. All right, I'm gonna make sure I say that right. Everybody knows it as across from Luca Restaurant.
right.
Yeah.
Correct,
So if you know where Luca's is, then across the street from there.
That's right.
And you said October
18th.
October
Saturday.
18th. All right.
Yeah.
And what's the time?
11 to 4.
11 to 4. Okay.
It's free to enter, but
Right, free.
food and beverages and pastries are for purchase.
Yeah.
And like we said before, it goes back into the festival and to the Heritage Center as well.
Awesome.
Also wanted to mention that the NATO group
Yes.
sends pastries. They have a group of ladies that will
Okay.
bake pastries and come there, and they have done it since the beginning. So each year they come from the
very
Norfolk
interesting.
area and different matters. So that has been very, very nice to acknowledge
Yeah.
them and have them join us. So that is
Great partners.
So, to y'all's knowledge, what's the farthest somebody has traveled to be a part of y'all's?
Out of state, certainly Midwest, I've heard, and up the East Coast.
I remember someone coming from Florida.
Florida,
They had
okay.
they had heard about it. Yes.
Right.
So,
Wow.
Yeah.
and plus being just off of 95,
Right.
you
Yes,
know,
very
it's
convenient.
easy
It is,
to come.
Yeah, it is convenient.
Mm-hmm.
That's neat. And 12th year, is that what?
This is the 11th festival.
This is
It's
the
13 years, because you're 2 years out for
Gotcha.
COVID. But this is will be
Okay.
the 11th festival.
11th festival. Awesome. And plans to continue as long as possible.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
That's great. Well, it is. I know it's a wonderful thing in the Prince George community. I didn't know all the history and some of the connections outside, but I know going for many years myself and my family and the kids enjoy it and the good music and being able to connect with, like I said, Olga. She was part of that. Was always great, but it wasn't just that. It was getting to see some of the other history. Was always great. So
We have
I
a
appreciate y'all
dance
doing
group that comes, and they have
Yeah.
performed a couple of
Yeah,
years
yeah,
and
yeah.
different things. So.
I'll emphasize family friendly. The kids
Yes.
can learn the chicken dance, which is a fun
Yes.
little dance.
Uh-huh.
They have cabbage rolls. They have animals they can pet, like horses.
The
And
face painting.
face
and
painting.
They
Okay.
can, the girls can make their own little headbands with
That's
the
right,
flowers and
flowers.
things like that.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
right, we've had the petting zoo.
That's
I'm sure
right.
we'll have that.
Yeah.
So
It's
it
very
is. It
kid
just
friendly.
it is. It's
Yeah.
it's friendly for everybody. You just come and enjoy.
That's great. Well, thank y'all so much
You're
for
welcome.
putting that on and
Yeah.
for keeping that heritage going and reminding us of the history of the Czech and Slovak people. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. All right, we're going to finish up with a few questions. These are
All right.
going to be really, really tough. All right, so I know you're going to start sweating, Barbara. This will be all right. These are really tough.
Wait, you're
No.
gonna ask me first?
I'll start with
You're the
Bruce if
star.
you want.
All right.
All right.
Okay, fine.
So, I do a lot of self development, a lot of reading, a lot of trying to make myself a better person, a
That's
better
great.
father, a better husband, a better leader at the dealership, those types of things. I do a lot of reading personally. Not everybody reads, but if you could say, Bruce, a book that has highly impacted you, or if it's not a book, maybe a person or something that's highly impacted you that has motivated you to become a better person, what would that be?
To become a better person. Well, I mentioned before I studied abroad at Charles University in Prague.
Yes.
Some 20-some years ago. I won't reveal how many years ago. But this was just a summer program for American students from my college, and I didn't know it at the time. I realized a few years later. One of my professors was Martin Palush. He was ambassador to the UN for the Czech Republic,
Oh, wow.
and he was also a very close friend of former Czech President Havel.
Okay.
And I kept in touch with him over the years.
Mhm.
He was an excellent professor. And he was one of the figures in the 70s that were pushing to end communism in Czechoslovakia then.
Okay.
So just the fact to learn from a historical figure like him, he's still alive. He lives in Florida now in his
Oh, wow.
retirement. And I just thought it was an amazing experience I'll never forget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, to be able to
Yeah.
to learn directly from somebody who's been
Living history.
living history. That's
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Barbara, how about you?
Well, I haven't met anybody famous.
That's all right.
But for a book, always, as a kid, I read My Side of the Mountain. And I've always, one of those things that I kind of go back and read just once in a while. And I don't know why, but it's about this boy who runs away from, or he says, I'm going to live by myself for a year. So he runs to the Catskill Mountains and he lives there for a whole year.
Okay.
He's like 12 or 13 or something, and lives off the land, and eventually captures a baby falcon and trains it.
I remember we had to
Yeah.
read this in high
Okay.
school.
Yeah, it's probably because we
How
have to
do I
read
know
it.
this? Yeah,
But I just thought it was so cool
Yeah.
to be able to do that. He burns out a hole in the tree and
Yes,
lives in there.
I remember
and
this.
Fishes
Yeah.
and stuff, and it's like, anyway, I just
Yeah.
like the book.
Yeah.
It's just kind of nice to kind of takes you away from the city, away from everything, to realize, that's all you need.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good message.
All right, Barbara. All of you're on a stage, and all of Prince George and Hopewell and Petersburg and Colonial Heights, all the way to Emporia, everywhere in this area, up to Richmond, everybody's looking at you and everybody, Barbara. And you got 2 minutes to impart some wisdom. What would that wisdom be?
Get out and enjoy whatever you like to do.
Okay.
That's good.
Yeah.
Oh, that's only 5 seconds.
That's all right. That's all right. Wisdom doesn't have to be 2 minutes. Sometimes it can be.
That's what I'd say to do.
Yeah.
Just enjoy what you like to do.
All right. Awesome. Bruce?
Same question?
Same question.
Sure. I would share with folks to get to know your neighbor.
Uh-huh.
Also seek out commonalities with people, whether it's strangers, family members, co-workers. Life's too short to be at loggerheads with each other.
Yes.
Let's find commonalities.
That's
We
awesome.
talked this morning, found a lot of good commonalities. So
Yeah.
just get to know people better.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, last question.
Okay.
This is the most important one. This is the toughest one.
Yeah.
All right, you ready? I'll start with you, Bruce. All right,
Okay.
I'll give you a
Okay.
second to think
All right,
about
I'll
it,
get
Barbara.
to
All right. Bruce,
Yeah.
what is your all-time favorite dream car?
Oh, dream car. Well, I was going to add that I do drive a Chevrolet Chevy Volt. And
Okay,
it's very
yeah,
reliable.
yeah.
I drove it here today. Parked in
They're
your
great.
parking
They're
lot.
great vehicles. Yeah.
All-time favorite car, dream car, I guess would be a German car, Porsche 911. So it's not a
Yes,
Chevrolet.
that's all right. That's
Yeah.
that's a dream car for a lot of people.
That's right.
Yeah, it's a Porsche 911.
Yeah,
That's
so
awesome.
a sports car.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
Barbara.
No, it wouldn't be a little car because you have to get a crowbar to get me out. I call them crowbar cars. I'd rather. But I will say my favorite car, it happened to be a Chevy. It was about Chevette that I actually saved money for while I was going to college. I saved money and I was able to pay for it up front. It was a little Chevette, and I figured that was the closest to the vet I was ever getting. So that was my vet.
That was your bet.
It was a little maple colored, maple cream Chevette.
What year was it?
Probably a 19. I actually bought it brand new. 78,
78.
79, maybe.
That's awesome.
So with
So-
these answers, Kevin, we expect a Chevrolet sponsor.
Yeah. Oh man, that's funny. That's funny. Well, thank y'all so much for
You're
being
welcome.
here. I
We've
really
enjoyed
appreciate it.
it.
This has been now. It's been great for me. Y'all
Yeah.
have blessed me by being here. So I appreciate that, and thank you all for joining us. Please, please, please make sure to take the time to set on your calendar October 18th, the Virginia Czech and Slovak Folklife Festival.
You got it.
Man, I got it. All right. Make sure you put that on your calendar, 11 to 4 at the Prince George Heritage Society. Did I say that correct? Prince George Historical Center. I'm gonna get. I knew I was gonna mess something up. Right across the street from Lucas. Please make sure you put that on your calendar. It's a wonderful time, and it's a great time to learn. But it's not only just a great time to learn; it's a great time to just enjoy your family, enjoy the culture, try new things. So please come out for that. Thank you again for being here, and we will see you next time on Community.